this Boomba's hammer finish. I'm going to jump in towards this Merlin again, see if I can't once again force his flicker. He should know that at this point, if he flickers, he's basically dead. But if he doesn't flicker, he's also dead. So that is exactly the situation you want to be in on Odin. It's the Hello everybody and welcome to your Odin jungle guide. So we're going to be starting off by buying ourselves Boomba's dagger and we're going to get tier 2 boots. I like to get the boots finished ASAP here on Odin for those early ganks, and we're going to be doing just the more patient full jungle clear with our solo laner, also known as the farm start, not the gank start. For our first ability here, you actually have two options. You can really go with either the lunge or you can go with Gungnir's Might. The thing about Gungnir's Might is a lot of people would say that it's like objectively the best thing to go because of the damage that comes out. If you do the math on this, it's going to be basically just slightly more than lunge, and lunge has a much longer cooldown. But while you're channeling Gungnir's Might, you could be auto attacking from the lunge, because you can actually start off the lunge with while the minions are spawning. So I actually prefer the lunge for the clear efficacy, because right when it hits 19, you can start that jump, get through that animation, and then you're auto attacking compared to sitting there inside of the actual channeled animation. I'm pretty sure if you were to do the exact math that the one would actually come out ahead in that situation. Plus, I just like having my 1 and my 2 for after I'm done with, or I like having my jump and my 3 for after I am done with all this clear. So Odin right now, definitely a better jungler than he is anything else. Odin has kind of been throughout all of the roles in Smite's history. Sometimes he's a solo laner, sometimes he's a jungler, sometimes he's a support. Right now in the meta, I would definitely put him into the jungle. He's a huge fan of the Boomba's hammer, as most people are. But the ability for you to get your shield up over and over and over and over again is really something. So I don't actually want to fight right here. I have gone the patient boot start, which means I'm actually just going to come over here towards these harpies and just chill out. I am just trying to finish up my warrior tabi as fast as possible, not looking for early aggression. Once I get my warrior tabi online, then I'll feel a lot more comfortable going for early fights. So right now he is better off in the jungle because of that Boomba's. And we should talk about the biggest change recently to Odin, which is actually his ultimate. His ultimate has been changed and actually made quite a bit better than it used to be. And honestly, it's always been one of the stronger parts of his kit. And now it is even better. And that is going to be the fact that enemies inside of the Odin cage now have their physical power reduced. Or excuse me, not their physical power, just their power in general. Their power is reduced by 15% inside of that Odin ult. So even beforehand, it was just attack speed. And so you would really wreck like a hunter, but a mage would turn on you and wreck you. Now, everybody inside of your cage is at a major disadvantage. Even the Merlins of the world that are trying to slap you with a bunch of abilities have a major deficit within your ultimate. So that has actually helped him out quite a lot. And the rest of his kit is still the same. He still does his healing reduction and all that good stuff that you've come to expect from Odin. But most importantly is that change on his ulti to that power reduction. Now for our leveling order here on Odin, we've grabbed our 2 points in our shield, and we're going to grab our ulti at level 5. Our level order on Odin is going to be a little bit unique. Because of how Odin's ultimate works, I actually don't like putting any points really into it. It's only going to increase the damage that you get from if somebody tries to leave the range of that cage, like jumping out of it, which honestly I find you're trying to use the cage of people that can't jump out anyway, so it's a little bit not that relevant. So I do 2 1, 3, 4. Typically, I like to max out that ultimate last, and I like to get all the damage from my baseline abilities going. So once again, that is maxing out 2, 1, 3, 4. I'm a big fan of the huge bird bomb combo on the Odin, and that's where I like to get most of my damage from. So right now, most of these lanes are playing pretty far back. Guan Yu is going to be a hard kill for us. So I'm going to head over to the left lane right now, see if I can't maybe go bait out some abilities from this Anhur. So when you're ganking on Odin, you're looking for 2 different things. You have 2 different ways to go about this. One is right here where the Anhur has now jumped in. I know for a fact that Anhur's jump is down because I just watched him use it. So I'm just gonna blink in and I am going to immediately cage on top of him, because I know that he does not have a jump in order to get out. Holy cow, but we don't have any flipping damage apparently because they're so big over in the dual lane already. So when they already have their jump down, or if they don't have a jump, you can go ahead and just walk right up to them, blink in, and use your ultimate, because there's no way for them to get out. If the Anhur would have had his jump up, then instead of blinking in and immediately ulti, you blink in and then you just start channeling your stun. So that way, they have to sit there and fight you. And then if they use their jump, then you use your ulti after that. So if their jump is down, or if they don't have one, jump right in, immediately use it. If they do have a jump up, then you're just sitting there and threatening them with the ult. Threatening them with the ult should basically stop them from being able to use the ult, from using their movement ability. If you use your movement ability against Odin, you should basically be dead every single time. This is going to be kind of risky for me, but I got to try to get in here and help. We're kind of losing all over the map right now. So I'm going to go in for this Guan, hitting him with my 3 stun, and it looks like Kronos is going to go for his ulti, but he's been over here for a pretty long time, so he's going to come right back into us. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any way out against them. That's a Kronos jungle, huh? And that's the Merlin mid lane. All right, so we're going to be working on into our Jotun's Wrath. For our first item, we grabbed ourselves that Warrior Tabi. We're going to want a lot of power here on the Odin jungle, and we're going to want max CDR. Our max CDR is going to come from the Jotun's Wrath upgrade, and then the Boomba's Hammer. That's going to give us our full 40%, and the rest of the build is going to be fairly hybrid oriented.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Get posterized. So it looks like dual lane's gonna need a little bit of help again, so I'm gonna head right on over. Once again, I see the Anhur jump in. Unfortunately, my Danza's already dead before anything kind of happened. They've already taken the oracles over here. It's pretty risky for us to go that way. So I'm just gonna send myself back to the mid lane. So right now what's happening is a lot of our lanes are just kind of losing within their lane. This is kind of your nightmare scenario as the jungler. As the jungler, you need your teams to be going even in the laning phase. Because if your team is just losing within the actual lanes themselves, there's not really much for you to do. If the enemy team is dying because they're getting ganked by like the jungler over and over again, then you need to find a way to get your ganks going faster and more efficiently. But if they're dying within the lane without the jungler ever even looking at them, that is a problem that your lanes themselves need to get figured out, whether it's their positioning or their itemization or their picks. Could just be that they picked the bad character. So for our matchups on Odin, we love going against people that do not have leaps. Dashes and no movement abilities at all are our best friend. I'm gonna go look once again over at this Anhur in the left lane. I think he's gonna be playing pretty cocky because he's been kind of pounding the Danza. So let's see if we can't get a little position on him. Looks like he actually probably has that warded because he's already moving straight back. So a god like Kronos, we do in fact enjoy going against, because the Kronos has really no way out of our ulti unless he wants to try to use his ulti to travel back through time. and get himself out of it. Arama, he has to go in his ulti and just sit in the air. None of these characters can actually just naturally get out of Odin cage. Like we said, Odin cage, even if you jump out of it, you're gonna take some damage, but that damage is really not all that relevant. The bigger fear is being stuck inside of Odin cage for the full 5 seconds, where if you're stuck inside Odin cage for 5 seconds, you should be killed by the rest of the team. Just trying to peel here for my AMA, so she has time to go pick up her blue buff. Now we get ourselves into the Jotun's Wrath. This team does have a good bit of healing. They're going to have the healing from Mulan. Kronos can heal himself. Anders going to buy lifesteal. They've got to go on you. So a good bit of anti-heal this game could also be good. Luckily, we are Odin, and so we've got almost all of our anti-heal just built into our kit itself. So typically, we do not have to be the ones trying to get that anti-heal for our team. Usually that's got to be on somebody else because we're already bringing something to the table. In fact, we're bringing 100% anti-heal to the table. Later on in the game, we'll see a check in their actives. They have one now. They do not have one now, but later on in the game, a Phantom is going to be very problematic for us. I'm going to blink in right here on this Guan Yu, start channeling my 2 a little bit early. I'm going to blink in, I'm going to start looking for the stun, and I don't even have to use my ultimate right there. So against the Guan Yu, I don't necessarily want to ulti him immediately. In order for him to get away, he's going to have to get on his horse, and I would prefer to wait for him to get on his horse and start to run away before I use the Odin cage. That way I just don't waste it, and I can use it to gank somebody else. So now I'm going to run through their jungle, try to see if they've got anything up. You would always prefer to initiate with Odin with your blink over your jump, because if you use your jump, that is in fact your getaway skill. And so you're going to be stuck wherever you land. From downtown. So for my next item, I'm going to be going myself into a Shifter Shield this game. Shifter Shield is going to give me a bunch of power, which is going to give us a huge amount of scaling off of our Bird Bomb combo, and is generically just a very, very good item right now. I also need to start helping out our team and buying some more sentry wards, which is going to make my ability to gank a little bit easier. Right now, their ward coverage has been very good. Every time we try to move up at all, they have been playing it real proper. So I'm going to move in towards this Anhur. He uses his jump, so I'm going to be able to jump right after him. I've got to watch out for the potential impale getting me out of range. Going to start my stun. I'm going to wait until after the CC immunity ends right there on the Anhur to follow up with it, and hopefully the Danza can land the last couple of autos and grab ourselves that kill. Anhur is going to be one of like the hardest targets in the game for you to gank. He's kind of the perfect counter to Odin in that he has... Where the heck is my Shifter Shield? He has himself a jump, right? That he can jump out of your ulti. He has himself a pillar that he can use to block your 3. And he has a CC immune ultimate that he can use in order to stop your stun. And he also has a knockback, which, for those of you that have played Odin, you know how awkward it can be when you go to use your ulti and you get knocked back right as you use it, and then you actually ulti at the target location that you land at, and not where you wanted to, and you ulti absolutely nothing.
Your right tower has been destroyed.
Very, very annoying. Now, my ultimate is not up, but Guan Yu might not know this, so I can force his ultimate right here. Bada bing, bada boom. I didn't even have to use anything. Just my mere Odin presence scared him enough, which is really a lot of the times what you're looking to do on Odin. Odin, while not necessarily super meta, has one of the scariest presences in the game, because when Odin shows up, your brain goes, oh no, I'm going to get caged. I'm going to be stuck in there forever. There's nothing that I can do. So I'm going to jump in here on the Guan Yu. I know his ultimate is down, so I don't have to wait to use mine. Gonna channel my stun, hit him with the stun right out of his Tallow Assault. I've got my abilities back up here in just a moment, so I'm gonna try to hit him with that Bird Bomb combo. Not quite gonna land it, and we're not gonna be able to kill him. At this point, Guan Yu probably gonna be too tanky for us to kill anymore. He's got the Warrior's Axe. He went right into the Mail of Renewal. My AMA needed a lot of help in the early game to kind of get through that. Her tower is down, but hopefully the assistance that we have put into that lane will be enough so I can continue to focus on the mid and the left lane instead. So now let's get ourselves a shifter shield and make sure we're buying wards on every back to help out our team. Standard combination on Odin. We pop our 2, we jump right on into the fight. We get that bird bomb damage right off the start. Probably take away about half of their HP. Then we either follow up immediately into our ultimate if we're planning on using our ulti, or we start channeling our 3. When we start channeling that 3, we hit them with the slow all around us. Almost always using the full channel on Gungnir's Might. The first channel is used for PvE usually. So I'm going to channel it all the way to 3 because that's going to let me get my... I'm going to blink ulti on this Kronos right here because I know he doesn't have a way out of this cage. He already used his ultimate, which means now he's stuck. Once again, going to channel my 3 all the way in order to get this done. So the 3 has 3 different things that it can actually do. I'm going to steal that purple really quick. If you use it immediately on the channel, you want to use that for when you're doing something like a Gold Fury. So right now I'm going to pop it immediately after I start it, and we're going to get this buff. That's going to be an attack speed increase for my team, so it's going to help us burn the objective. The second level of this is an auto lock-on. So right there, you see that little rune that pops up above their head? That is an auto lock-on ability. You're almost never going to use this unless somebody was about to get away and you wanted to guaranteed hit it. Most of the time for PvP, you're channeling it all the way through, and you're going to use that third stance because that is when it becomes a stun.
You make me so proud.
Obviously, the reason why we're going to be building so much cooldown on Odin is because as the game goes a little bit longer and longer, we start to become more and more of an ulti bot. That just means that the rest of our kit, its effectiveness drops off quite a bit. But our ultimate is always a problem for the enemy team. They do have a Phantom Veil, so Phantom Veil will allow them to get out of our ulti. I'm going to grab myself an Chile this game. We're going to be overcapped on our CDR for a bit. That's fine. We always end up selling Jotun's Wrath if the game goes long enough because it's such a good early game item, but late game it kind of does drop off because you don't need that 20% CDR from it anymore. But we're going to grab the Chile for now because against this team, they're pretty much all going to get wrecked against it. It's going to mess up the Kronos really bad. It's going to mess up the Merlin really bad. Heck, it's even going to mess up the Anher pretty good as well. Throw out a deep ward here at the top left. Looks like they might be looking to counter ward it. I'm going to see if I can't jump near the Merlin, force him to flicker. If he panic flickers, now I can use my ulti. I hit him with the stun. I follow up right there. Looks like they do have their whole team here in the mid lane though, so I've actually got to get out of this one. So the second that they use a getaway ability, that is when they are in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to start channeling for my stun right here. Just going to use it on the Guan Yu. We can follow up and get a lot of damage on him. Danza might be able to go into this fight pretty hard. I'm going to start channeling my 2, waiting to blink in this fight. 3, 2, 1, looking for the Merlin. I'm going to blink right in. Keep chasing for him. I'm going to pop a preemptive bead so I can channel my full 3. Try to get the Merlin killed with that, but he goes ahead and uses his Aegis. We know the Guan Yu ultimate is down. I need to be very careful right here, though. They are healing for a lot right now. I'm going to try to get my Bird Bomb combo going. Not going to be able to do it because there's a Guan Yu right here looking at me. He knows where I am. And here jumps in, so I'm going to jump the opposite way. Try to get out of this one. That's a really good follow-up from that Kronos on my jump, though. But they should not be able to kill me.
An enemy has been slain.
So if they don't have a Guan Yu on their team right there, that fight probably goes about 10 times better than it did. Guan Yu still statistically one of the best gods in the game at all levels because Guan Yu heal is just so hard to deal with. Now we're going to get that Anti-Light online. I'm going to head myself back to mid lane. I'm going to look at our builds. We do have a Pestilence. We do have a Divine. So I don't necessarily need to get an Aura anti-heal. So in order to help with the anti-heal still, I'm going to get myself a Brawlers here at the end. So that way I've got the consistent Brawlers proccing for the anti-heal while still providing also the ultimate anti-heal as well. But my ulti will not always be up for these fights, especially before I have this Boomba's hammer finished. I'm going to jump in towards this Merlin again, see if I can't once again force his flicker. He should know that at this point, if he flickers, he's basically dead. But if he doesn't flicker, he's also dead. So that is exactly the situation you want to be in on Odin. It's the threat of your ultimate, not even necessarily the ultimate itself, that is going to get you kills. Merlin knows the second he flickers, I can ulti him and he's going to be stuck in that cage. That is what Odin really does bring to the field, is the threat that his ultimate is going to be up and used on you, and then you're going to be stuck inside of it. Gonna come over, look right here at the Anner. He is still inside of my stuff right now. He knows that if he jumps, he's gonna be in trouble, so he is trying his absolute hardest not to jump. I'm gonna try to go land on top of him. Looks like the rest of his team has showed up. I'm gonna start channeling my 3 as I'm leaving. Just kind of get out of that one for now. Mulan's in a pretty bad spot. I'm looking for the Anner over the wall. His jump should still be down. I'm going to be able to follow up with that bird bomb combo. Start channeling my 3, and it's not going to be able to get him quite yet. But he has no way to escape, so I'm going to be able to use it to pick up that kill. Kronos uses his ultimate, and we should be able to get around back. Actually, there's an Odin here, so I've got to jump over this wall, making sure that I don't use my shield, because now I need my shield for the defense. Gonna see if I can't help my team. Follow up with a little stun on that Guan Yu, but we do need to be careful right here. So when you are going aggressively on Odin for the damage, you are using that shield before your jump. When you are using Odin for the setup and you are trying to live, you're gonna jump and use the shield afterwards. Wow, I can't believe they got that. So shield jump is the aggressive play. Jump shield is the defensive play. At the end of the game, you're going to be doing a lot more jump shielding, just trying to live, than you are going to be shield jumping. The later the game goes, the more you're going to need the actual HP on that shield to keep you alive.
Enemies at the fire giants.
Enemies at the fire giant has been called, so I'm going to start heading over there looking for some action. I can trap the Guan and the Mulan, but that's not really preferable. I would much rather try to get in the face of this Merlin. Unfortunately, I've been thrown back in my own face. So I'm going to blink right here on the Merlin. That's his flicker. Hit him with the stun. Now I can follow up with my shield. Merlin is completely stuck. He should be dead here. We should be able to follow him, grab that kill, no problem. The fact that he's not dead yet is pretty indicative of a bigger team-wide damage problem. Luckily, we still do get him, but now we do need to peel back and help out the boys. Looks like they're going to be okay, though, in the back line. They've mostly dealt with it. So right now, I'm using my shield mostly just to keep me alive so I can walk through places. So I'm going to jump into the fight. I'm going to call for the attack, pop my shield immediately when I land. And now I can tank all this without actually taking any damage, and it's already up in a couple of seconds. Fire Giant should be spawning any second. It did just spawn. We've got 5 of us, including a Merlin. We didn't secure the Gold Fury, but I'm going to head on over here. We've got an AMA Merlin Odin. We have one of the best objective burning comps I can think of, so I'm going to use my 3. Immediately click it so we get that bonus attack speed buff. And I'm going to walk out of here. I'm actually going to try to zone a little bit. Looks like Guan Yu is going to keep himself out of here. So I'm going to jump right back in order to secure. So right there, my ultimate had come back up. So I know that I could use it as a zoning technique. If the Kronos or anybody that I was worried about possibly stealing the Fire Giant were to get in range, I would have used my ulti just to zone them out, not even for the kill or anything, but just to keep them out of the range so that there's no random chance of it being stolen. Now we're gonna grab that Boomba's hammer and I'm gonna start to work on my brawlers. Typically, I would like to go a little bit more of a defensive item here than a brawlers. I would like to get a little bit more HP or defenses or something. In this particular game, I do need the anti-heal. And the Contagion Pestilence isn't really gonna cut it with the level of healing that they have. And also, we do not have a brawlers, which means that I will be adding a whole new anti-healing dynamic to our team compared to buying another Pestilence or a Contagion, which would actually not do anything when me and AMA were around the same spot. So at this point, we should just shove up middle lane. We've got the Fire Giant. We're just going to probably try to get all the towers down. And there's still a tier 1 in middle. Now, they might try to defend tier 2s because they're not down that much gold. But if they do, I'm just going to blink in right here on the Merlin. Scare him as much as I can. I'm going to jump preemptively because I think he's going to flicker. He does. And now I can ulti back here on the Chronos and the Anhur. Anhur has to jump out. I'm going to start channeling my 3. Looking back at the Guan Yu. Guan Yu is going to be coming for your boys. So I'm going to jump first, then shield. So by the time that he lands on me, I have already got that shield waiting there to protect me. Once again, gonna have to pop my shield here. There's a lot of damage coming my way. And I'm gonna call to continue to shovel. Continue to shove up the mid lane. Once again, mostly using my 2 defensively. We have stopped the back right there from the Mulan. I'm gonna preemptively pop my bead so the Chrono Sun doesn't actually stun me, hopefully allowing me long enough to live for us to grab that Phoenix. Now we should retreat and go attack the left-hand lane. I can get a defensive sentry right out there for us. And I'm gonna come right on through on this tower because I've got my shield, which will keep me alive. So you can see now the efficacy of this Boomba's hammer on Odin. My shield is up literally all the time. We've still got the Guan Yu dead. We've got 5 of us. We got Fire Giant. I'm just gonna start tanking this with my shield. Making sure that I use my abilities. Gonna use once again my Gungnir's 3 in order to provide some extra attack speed for my team. And now I'm actually gonna call for the attack again. I'm gonna see if I can't get in here, try to grab anybody. Not gonna be able to. So now I'm gonna call for the retreat and we can go over to the right lane. Once you get that Boomba's hammer online, it's a whole new world. Now they might try to go kill my left lane actually. I wanted us to go attack right lane, but they're going for my boys, so I need to come over here and help. I'm gonna jump right on in. I know the Guan Yu ulti is down. I'm gonna throw down my ultimate so that he is sucked. I don't mind even if we just kill this Guan Yu. Hit him with the stun for my 3. He's gonna try to dash once this is down, so I'm jumping back in on him. Hit him with that Boomba's auto. I also get my 3 back up, so I'm gonna look for the stun on Anhur. He has to use his beats. If I can stay alive right here, gonna go ahead and pop my shield again. Try to jump away. I'm just barely living through this, and if we can keep this fight going, if we get one more kill, we might be able to end the game. Chrono should be landing right where he was. Pop that Boomba's 2. Jump in the air over the Chronos abilities, and now we should be able to end the game. Popping my Gungnir's Might level 1 to give the bonus attack speed for my team, and now we can put this one away. So you can see the efficacy of Odin in these team fights way better than at the other stages of the game, and that's entirely due to the Boomba's hammer. Boomba's hammer brings your ultimate up stupidly fast, which on Odin is amazing because they only have so many phantoms, and it also brings up your shield about every 3 seconds, which means you get about a 600 bonus HP every 3 seconds, guys, which is why Odin right now, I do believe, is severely underrated, and that is our Odin jungle guide. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.